When Lillian Iorio was diagnosed with kidney disease as a teenager, she had no idea how it would impact her life. For years, her health steadily declined until in her 40s, her only option was a kidney transplant. Little did she know she'd eventually find an unexpected result. Lillian Iorio grew up in Long Island, New York. She lived what seemed like a normal, active childhood, playing field hockey, a member of the flag team, and a cheerleader. On the outside, she seemed perfectly fit and fine. But on the inside, the story was much different. Lillian was born with a larger than normal kidney, and at the age of 17 was diagnosed with polycystic kidney disease, or PKD. The disorder causes painful clusters of cysts to develop inside the kidneys, which eventually rupture and calcify, and in some patients it progresses until the kidneys no longer function.
When I was diagnosed at 17, there was really not a lot of information that was provided to me. I was just given a pamphlet and said, here you go.
PKD is genetic and there is no cure.
With the limited information that I was provided and what I was able to even research was scary to me. So, I didn't know which area, would I be the one that never had any issues or would I be the one that had the issues? So the way I coped with it was, well, it's not affecting me, it's not a reality, so.
That all ended when Lillian reached her 30s and started getting sick all the time. A simple cold or flu would send her to the hospital. She once needed an IV for 17 days to fight an infection.
Your kidneys filter the blood through your body, filters the waste. And as your kidneys decrease, your body isn't filtering, so there's toxins in the body, and it affects all areas.
As her health continued to decline into her 40s, Lillian knew getting on a transplant list for a new kidney would be her eventual hope. It was at the height of her illness that Lillian reconnected with an old teenage boyfriend. They found each other on Facebook and started a long-distance relationship.
But I gotta be honest, in the back of my head, I always I'm in New York, she's in Florida. In the long run, this is definitely not gonna work out. It can't, this just won't work out.
Because we were long distance, we talked for a couple months before we saw each other. I guess I was sick, but I was living through the sickness. I don't think directly it really made a difference in the relationship right away. Because we were just so excited to, be together.
She was at 55% function when we first started to talk about it. So it was something that it came up, but I didn't think that I would have to deal with it or handle it anytime soon.
When the topic of marriage came up, Lillian hesitated.
There was a hesitance at first because I'm just going to be this burden. I'm going to, we're going to get married and I'm just going to be a burden.
As Lillian's health continued to deteriorate, she knew she was getting close to the dangerous levels required for a transplant.
I went to Stony Brook University and got on the transplant evaluation, met with the transplant team, went through my testing, and Frank said, hey, I'm going to, check to see if I'm a match. I was like, okay, have we talked about it prior? In little things, but when it comes to him, I really didn't think about Frank to be that. I just thought of Frank as my partner and just being with me through the process. So, when he got tested was amazing, but then I got scared because I'm like, I can't influence him. I can't talk with him. He has to be able to know and make that decision. So
it wasn't a hard decision at all. It was automatically. I found this person after so many years of my life. I wasn't gonna let her go. I guess I was kind of selfish on my part. I would do anything to keep her in my life, including give her my kidney.
We have separate people that work with us through the process, and his journey is his. His is a private journey. He has to be able to make decisions and not be influenced. I didn't want him to feel like he had to say yes, because he could have said no and I would have still loved him. You know what I mean? It would have been okay.
in my mind, I finally found this person. I wasn't going to let her go for any reason. And this was just part of it.
In August 2019, Frank and Lillian were married in New York. 1 month later, Lillian's kidney function dropped to 19%. That was soon followed by a cardiac episode, a visit to the emergency room, a diverticulitis issue, and hernia surgery. Lillian's health was diminishing quickly. So, in September 2020, Frank gave Lillian his kidney. And 6 months later, the love of his life started enjoying the best health of her life.
Everything is better. I don't feel sick. I felt toxic. I just felt the toxicity in my body. I had no energy. I have all the energy. Throughout the day, I would need to, and I would want to take naps. I don't need that anymore. When I wake up, I'm full of energy, and I'm not sick. I can't put it into words. I feel great.
I feel fine. I don't feel something inside of me is missing or something different inside of me. I just want to stay healthy and live my life with Lillian. And now that we're at this point in our life, we can do it now. And I'm very excited about that.
He's a part of me. He's always been a part of me, but he really is a part of me. You know, I carry him every day, you know. I just wanted to live for my family. I wanted to live just to live. I can't even put else to words. And he saved my life. And you can't change that, you know? And so I don't believe in coincidence. I believe that this was a plan. I believe that this plan was already in place, and he's my angel.